Judy Frater is an American who's been here for many years. She came over as a designer, and she stayed on in Kutch. She started her own design training institute for artisans in Kutch. And just, I think, 2 or 3 years ago, she left that. It's still working, and she joined another school, the KJ Somaya Gujarat Trust. Judy's whole thing is that with industrialization, design and the conception of craft and the craft skills separated. They were always together before. This will go on what Lila-ji was saying. And they were separated, which made the craftspeople basically more like laborers than the owners of their subject. So she decided that she would set up a training institute specifically for artisans. And this is actually what Lila said, could we have them all over India? Be wonderful if we could work out something at Dakshin Chitra. So she works with traditional textile artisans only, and she gets them to innovate within their tradition. So and she gets them to go into their heritage, to be inspired by their own heritage. So the courses, she has 6 two-week intensive residential courses taught by professional educators. And the artisan students learn step-by-step to create market-oriented, theme-based work. The course's effectiveness rests on sustained input and local orientation. So between courses, since there's a gap between these 2-week modules, they're given homework to ensure that they can transfer theory into their ongoing work. So she said, after operating the design course for 8 years, I realized that to reap full economic benefit, business and management were also needed. So in April 2014, she launched the BMA, a postgraduate course in business and administration for artisans. This is a year-long course, also taught by professional educators. The ultimate goal is to, where's Ritu? Ritu, yeah, you start with the fashion. So the ultimate goal is to enable the students to take full control of their design and their product, and to revalue craft as an emerging luxury market rather than as an inferior alternative to industrially produced goods. And so Ritu's going to just quickly go through the fashion work that she's doing now with the crafts. Every year she holds a special commencement for the artisans. Their work is all critiqued. She has a long, wonderful presentation, but since she's not here, we're cutting it down.
I'm going to go through her presentation with the pictures that she has attached with it. The first is a fashion show montage, which was held in Kutch. And she said it compels local people, especially artisans, to understand that crafts can be contemporary and fashionable. It helps to revalue craft as an emerging luxury market rather than an inferior alternative to industrially produced goods. And she says the fashion show has been important in motivating young artisans to continue their traditions. 13 years of her design education has connected graduate artisans to new markets and increased their incomes. 75% of men graduates say, I'm sorry, leave it here? Okay. 75% of men graduates say they have increased their income 10 to 300%. Women increased their income from 10 to 60%. And the market has also expanded. But basically what they say is we express our ideas and traditions and diversify. Graduates have won the National Award and World Crafts Council Award. In 2018, 7 artisan designers were the first ever to be recognized as designers at the Lakme Fashion Week, the biggest fashion week in India. 10 design graduates have participated in the International Folk Market in Santa Fe. In effect, the design course reimagines the traditional systems in an appropriate contemporary form. Here, artisan advisors teach students about tradition. They teach weavers, printers, and dyers together in a class, revitalizing this interdependence. But most important, education has shaped understanding, attitudes, and values. And perhaps, she says, the most significant success is children of artisans in Kutch return to craft as an attractive livelihood. There's something on Bagalkot. Because local culture is important as part of SKV's success, rather than making the institute larger, Judy thought of outreach. At SKV, their educational methods were tested with weavers in the less exposed region in Bagalkot, Karnataka, using an artisan-to-artisan approach, where SKV graduates mentor the weavers. Later, SKV did a second project with embroiderers in Lucknow. The outreach programs were mutually beneficial as all grew with the experience. This year, SKV has begun their third outreach project with women weavers of Kumaon.
Where?
Kumaon in Uttarakhand. In this project, there should be a picture. In this project, it's picture number 24. In this project, weavers who worked as income generation made their own designs. Their pride and ownership was clear. 3 years ago, SKV began a co-design program with the University of Wisconsin. Artisan designers use WhatsApp to collaborate with design students in producing collections. A key point here is to work as equals as well as to make fresh designs. There's a seminar, number 27. Artisans understood that craft is more than earning a livelihood. When a group of weaver graduates were asked if they considered themselves successful, all of them said yes. Asked to define success, they said we now have our own concept and identity. And they said success is having a voice. It helps achieve your goals. Strikingly, not one artisan spoke of success in terms of money. SKV annually holds a seminar for artisan designers to discuss issues. And in one seminar, Coping with Copying, the artisan designer community concluded that copying is an inevitable evil, but they have no interest in copying and they will shun those who copy or want them to copy. They want to create and they want recognition. Asked who feels that signing your work with labels or crafted stamps is important, all hands shot up in a call. So Judy asks, this is the last part of the presentation. She asks, so where is SKV now? Design education has clearly increased artisan capacity and the appeal of craft. As the level of craft rises and the number of artisan designers increases, the question now is, where will they sell their work? How to develop a market appropriate to smaller scale, highly diversified, and higher value production of artisan design work. The international folk art market at Santa Fe offers a possible direction for developing an appropriate market. But over time, Santa Fe's focus has shifted to product, statistics, and money. This encourages selection of master artisan professionals who can communicate easily in English and fill out forms. So Judy concludes, the challenge now is to increase recognition and value in our own backyard. Traditional systems of marketing based on the human connection of craft must be further reimagined. The traditional system in Kutch exemplifies an alternative model of community-based economy with the potential for more equitable distribution and development, a scaling out rather than scaling up. The next frontier is to cultivate robust, widely accessible domestic markets that value diverse, smaller scale, artisan-centered